Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Laura.
And we are Two Paper Girls. Today's video is all about the series that we have decided that we are just never going to finish. We've seen some of these circulating booktube and Laura suggested this to me and I'm just like, at the first I thought, no, I'm pretty good, I read series, but then I was like, oh wait, no, I'm not going to finish that and that, because there's just no point. This video is either a series that are just too long that we can't get around to, books that we just fell out of love with, and just series that we read ages ago and now just don't want to.
I'm pretty reluctant to say like I'm not going to finish it, and these ones I might go back on my word, but right at this moment I just have such a big TBR with so many things I'm so excited to read. It's like, why would I force myself to read and finish this series, especially as, like you say, the ones we've read so long ago, I'd have to reread what I've already read, and it's just a lot of commitment for something you're no longer excited about. So let's just get straight into it.
The first series that I'm not going to finish is A Song of Ice and Fire, because I've read this one and I got halfway through Clash of Kings and I was just like, why am I bothering? The series is like great and the books are just long and I just don't want to anymore. I might go back on it in a few years when I've got nothing else to do but read massive tomes. But until then, no.
My first one is the Divergent trilogy by Veronica Roth. I read Divergent, absolutely loved it. I recommended it to Amy and my boyfriend and they loved it. And then Insurgent happened and Amy read it and said it was okay. Robin read it and said it was okay. I was going to read it for the film last year, but I didn't get round to it because of uni. So now I've seen the film and I've heard Amy and everyone say how bad Allegiant is, and I'm just like, why? I know what happens in this one. I'm going to go see the Allegiant film and find out what happens. I'm just happy finishing off this trilogy with the films rather than the books because they're pretty long. And I just don't feel excited to read it anymore. I'm just not bothered by dystopia at all anymore. And I've just heard how downhill this one goes and I'm just not in the mood anymore.
My next series that I'm definitely not going to finish is the Feed trilogy by Myra Grant. I thought it was going to be about zombies, and it is, but it's more about these people that I don't like, and there's not enough zombies, and that's generally it.
My next one is the Gone series by Michael Grant, much to Amy's horror, because she loves this series. So I did read... I only read the first one, but like I said, I read it, like 5 years ago. And I wasn't a massive fan. I did like it because the ending was really clever, but I could already see it was very complicated and all over the place and not really what I was wanting. And they're all huge, like they're all bigger than this one, and there's 6 books, and I just don't have the commitment. I borrowed the second one and never got round to reading it, and I'm just like, just not feeling this. If it was a trilogy, I probably would have finished it off, but because it was like, at that point, not even finished, I was already 4 or 5, I was just like, I can't commit to such a long series that I'm not excited by.
The next thing that I won't finish is The Dark for Inside, the For Dark, I don't know. I never understood it. It's kind of about zombies but not, and again this is just disappointing. I don't know if it is a series or not. I think it is, and just, it's rubbish.
The next series I'm not going to finish is the most recent one that I've read. I read it this year, that's The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. Yeah, this book was okay. It's just really not what I was expecting. It was very cheesy and tropey and annoying. And I don't even own the other 2 books, which also puts me off because I don't want to spend money on the next 2. I'm not really that bothered. So I looked up what happened on Google. Sounds kind of interesting, but really wacky. And a lot of people say the 3rd book's not that good. So I'm just like, nah, really not bothered. One day, maybe I'll see them cheap and I might buy them, or I might go to the library and get them, but right now it's not happening.
The next thing is the Eye of Minds trilogy by James Dashner. I love the Maze Runner trilogy, so I thought, oh, I'll read James Dashner's other trilogy, but sci-fi really isn't my thing unless it's done really, really well. And this was just done like a bit kind of samey, there's someone taking over the Matrix. And yeah, I'm not going to enjoy this. I've got the next one, the Rule of Thoughts. I'm just not going to do it.
The next series I don't want to finish is the Spook series by Joseph Delaney, another one of Amy's favourites, but even she will admit, like, past a point it gets very repetitive and very boring. That's what I got to. I think I got to about book 9, like Iron Grimalkin I think was the last one I read, and this one's the one after that. And like the books after that, they're different characters, it's not even the characters you care about. And it just keeps going, and Amy wasn't happy with like the conclusion, and now the guy's doing another series based on the same characters. It's like, God, stop, like, should have been 6-7 books most, and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed the early ones, but these later ones are just too wacky, and like, technically in the last one I read they did the thing they wanted to, and then in this one, like, he comes back, the bad guy comes back, it's like, oh God. So yeah, it's not going to happen.
The next series that I'm not going to finish is I don't know if I will. I mean, I want to because I want to understand, But I really didn't like this book. It was just, oh my God, Tess, I just want to shoot her in the face. And Will, I kind of love Jem, which is kind of why I know I want to finish the trilogy, but I just don't really fancy it right now.
The next few series I'm not going to finish. I don't have the books for because I either unhauled them or I've forgotten to bring them with me. The first one is Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I read the first one like 5 years ago. I've had the second one for a good 4 years, and I never got round to it, and now I feel like I need to reread the first one, and I do want to reread it, but I don't know. My TBR's too big and I have no hype or excitement for this anymore. I did really like the first one. It's just kind of I've left it too long now. Like, it's not really the book itself. I just don't want all the commitment of like rereading the first one and rereading 2 more, so I'm not going to bother.
The last series that I'm currently not going to finish is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I have Never Fade and it's pretty and everything, but this was just average. I mean, the main person really got on my nerves, but now I'm thinking about it, the bad guy I really liked. And it has a bit of a Gone series feel to it. I just didn't have the commitment to it as I did. But this is one that I'm sort of like, I might, but at the minute, no.
The next one I don't have with me because I actually unhauled it, and that is the Shiver trilogy by Maggie Stiefvater. I read the first 2 and I absolutely loved them because it was like when I was quite tweeny and I was all into Twilight, and it was basically Twilight with wolves, and I loved it. And I remember I finished the second book and I looked up the third one. I had to wait a whole year, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to wait a whole year. I waited a whole year, I bought it, I never read it, and it had been a year, and then another year, and then another year, and then I just went and like purged all my paranormal romance books that I had at the time that I never got round to because just not my genre anymore. And again, I'd forgotten what had happened and I just can't be bothered, so I got rid of them. And the last one is the Shades of London trilogy or series by Maureen Johnson. Same old, same old. I read the first one a couple of years ago. I have the second one. It's just never stood out to me to read it. I kind of want to, but I can't remember what happened. I don't have the third one. I haven't heard great things. I just can't be bothered.
So those are the series that we're just not going to finish. At this point in time, they just don't seem likely, and we're not pessimistic, but me and Laura, we've turned very honest with ourselves and realistic with our reading.
And there's so many series I have on my TBR that I haven't read that I'm really excited to, like I've got to catch up on Throne of Glass and The Mortal Instruments and Falling Kingdoms and all these amazing series I want to read. I don't see the point in forcing myself to read old series that I've just lost interest in.
Let us know down below if you agree or disagree on any of these series. If you have a really good argument for us to pick up one of these, then we may consider it. But let us know any that you don't want to, and we'll have a bit of a bitch in the comments about series that have just gone off the rails.
And we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.